Hello, everyone. Hello, Mac. Hello, Quark. Thank you for the lizard party. So... Well, stream cord. It didn't do the thing. What's the delay on that? What's the delay on stream cord notification? There's servers down. Okay, gosh, what are the chances, huh? That over the past week. Yeah, okay. Next time for sure then. We'll have the real test to make sure everything is working as intended. Here, I'll just There we go. That'll work. Happy Sunday. I've been a busy bee. Had a chance to work on some scenes. And as a result, we're gonna need to fill in the map a little bit. Things aren't done, but they're definitely well and truly started in some places. And I learned about a pretty terrible bug that would be a real pain to try and sidestep. Okay, so we are now... This one is started. This one is the one we're looking at now. This one is started, this one started. Canopy, I don't know exactly how that's gonna look yet, but at least we have a better idea of what we're going towards. Okay. So, I'll get more into the issue in a bit, but it looks like we're going to have to do something I really didn't want to do with the project, which is actually upgrade to a newer version of Godot. I'm very worried about that, but it's doable. It's just going to be really annoying to do. But yeah, it's going to have to happen. Wow, hello, Theron. Is the bug because... Yes, it is Godot. It is an issue in 4.3 and 4.4. I believe it's slated for 4.5, maybe? Whatever the upcoming version is. I've got a reproducible example that I can show off in a bit to explain exactly what the problem is, and it's silly, but Theron, thank you for 40 months.
40 months. That's almost a year. Scared face emoji. Scared face emoji. Scared face emoji.
Thank you, Theron. Sorry about your face. Moon viewing ceremony. Moon viewing ceremony. Moon viewing ceremony. Moon viewing ceremony. Okay. We are working on the charge gear, right? That was our big thing. The double! The double! Wait for it.
Get another TTS message.
Hudson, thank you for 58 months. Almost a year. Jeez, Hudson. We've known each other a while. That feels weird. Mario Maker 2, man. It's a different time. It's actually so close. Okay. Hi, Day. You were asking me something, but I was in the middle of dinner stuff. I did not actually see what was going on in Willow's chat. The answer to your question is more than 6, but not quite 8. I don't actually know what the question was. Okay, we're gonna work on not water surface, not multi-mesh plants, not elevator, not actor base. Gear spin, charged gear spinner. That's the one.
Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji.
That's great. That's so great. Okay, so right now we have the code for if the player does not actually have the move to get charged up. And we're gonna have a new one for if the player is charged up. So let's have a alternate function, charge player. So how does that need to happen? I think, well, let's just try this. If false, and do this, else do this. Charge player. Let me show you guys what the issue is. Okay, so this should, yeah, all right, and then imagine we're charged, and then pew, super attack. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the issue that's going to require me to actually change Godot versions. Hello, Turtle. So the issue with updating to a new version is that things can break in very interesting and weird ways. And it's going to require a lot of going back and testing and fixing. And that's going to take a lot of time. So we got to be ready for that cost. Welcome in, Liari. So here's the issue. This is no shaders or anything. This is just a surface with a material that is reflective. It's just listed as metallic and smooth, and so it automatically gets this reflection effect when I turn on something called SSR.
Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji.
So that looks fine.
Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji.
Perspective.
Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji. Moon viewing ceremony emoji.
We need to talk about perspective. So, think SimCity 3000 or Roller Coaster Tycoon or the older versions of The Sims. Those games use a perspective called orthogonal, which is to say that if lines are parallel, they will actually be rendered in parallel. So if you imagine the old like railroad tracks extending forever, they do not actually converge when you are doing orthogonal view. They are actually drawn parallel. This is a very different style from what your eye would normally see. But it's got its uses. Certain games need this style. That's not how we see. We see in perspective. Parallel lines converge sometimes.
Software/system do you use to track your storyboard for games?
Notepad. ++. Literally Notepad. So notice right now you have that one. These are parallel lines, but they appear to be getting closer together as they approach the horizon. And if I look from below, they do the same, but now they're converging towards the bottom. All right? But what if I look perfectly straight down? perfectly straight down, they actually remain parallel. Okay, that is actually how perspective would work. As long as you're looking straight on to something, boom, it will be fine. It will be parallel. The Paper Mario style that I am trying to approximate is perspective. However, vertical lines, let's take these two as an example. Vertical lines appear actually perfectly vertical. So it's like a perfectly level viewing perspective, except it's not. It looks like it's tilted down slightly. Let's take an example. Let me get a TTYD screenshot here to show you what I mean by that. If I can find an image of, this is perfect. This is perfect. All right, check this awesome screenshot of the inside of a train. So our vanishing point, if we copy this and bring it into this. All right, we can actually see a vanishing point here very clearly by just tracing these lines, okay? So you see the lines converge at a point way up here. That implies that right here, this is where the camera is located in 3D space, in a sense. It is way up at the top of this train cabin. But that's a problem because the way that that perspective rules work, isn't the vanishing point supposed to be dead center? The way that perspective camera works is if I had a case where I was looking down at my character, then these vertical lines, if I was looking downward at my character, these vertical lines should be diverging upwards because it's not a strictly parallel. But you notice that in this screenshot, these vertical lines are all actually parallel. How do they pull that off? It is a trick called a frustum camera, which basically means it is, in fact, a vertical camera. Okay, they are starting with a, vertical lines are vertical, but then they do something to it, which is they cut off the top half of the view, or some amount of the view. And now we are focusing our view downward, wink. It looks like we are, but actually we're actually focusing at the top of the screen and then just ignoring everything above that. And that way we get a view where our character can be in the middle of the screen, we can be looking down at our character, and we still get those nice, beautiful parallel vertical lines. So this is a fun little camera trick, but it is not without cost. For you see, let's see here. Let's actually run this and I'll show you. For you see, there is an issue with that. So notice in this view, I've got this reflective surface. Screen space reflections are turned on. Yeah, just what's rendered, but the projection is perfectly normal. So right now, I'm gonna pull up this test view here. I have a frustum camera here, and I can move it around as I see fit. So right now, I have no offset set on our frustum camera. It is basically equivalent to a perspective camera with no lopping off the top. But watch what happens when I lop off the top. Well, let's go the opposite direction so it fits my. Oh, look at that! Our reflection disappeared, and sure enough, oh, it's back. It's weirdly wrong. You can see there is a major bug in 4.3 where, for whatever reason, the calculations that use SSR, screen space reflections, does not jive with frustum offset. And I want those simple reflections. I don't want to use shaders for reflections when it's so simple to just have reflective materials. So I am going to have to upgrade from 4.3 at some point, and it's going to be a real pain. I don't want to do it right away. I want to make sure that all of this initial demo stuff, I want to make sure that we don't run into any problems for a while, that, you know, everything's fine. Because if I have to change something in the code to help the demo stuff, I know it's not hard to deal with branches, but I'm going to screw something up on that. Like if I have a separate branch for the demo version, then it doesn't get all the other nice bug fixes that I've been working on, and I really don't want to have a branch for every feature. So we're just gonna use the power of scheduling better, and I'm just gonna wait to update to 4.5 for a bit, and then cropping it down. I think Frustum Offset comes with that whole magic without the performance cost. Like it just actually changes the way that the rendering works without having to cheat the effect. It actually does only render the required pixels. I'm going to opt for waiting for the actual bug fix in Godot. Alternatively, I could just grab the source code for Godot, fix it myself, and just run on that copy of Godot. But that is a nightmare. As far as I know, the fix is already out there with a pull request, and I think it is planned to be pulled in the next version. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. Okay. Tonight's plan. We need to make some progress. Just warm up here. Tonight's progress is going to be, we're working on this new field move. It's these charged gears. I want it to be that when you charge up, you're going to have like some kind of glowy effect. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but you're going to... And then when the next time you do a spin, it is an electrical discharge. Area of effect that can stun enemies and trigger certain switches. That is the plan. That's what we're going to work on tonight. So, what do we got? I have some kind of magical shader for the sprite, and I don't remember how that works. How does that work? It's like a tint thing. How do you keep getting past the auto thing? Hold on. Hold that thought. I don't want to have to do the thing. Do do do. Do 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 do. Da, da, da. I thought this was already blocked. It is already blocked. How did you get past it then, you? I mean, I'm gonna try to add it again. I don't think capitalization should count. All right, let's try. Does it do? I wonder. Does it do? I wonder if when Twitch does block term stuff, do they handle sub? Wait a second. Oh, they do. It looks like they do wildcard characters. So let's just do it this way and see if this works. Okay, anyway. Distractions. Always distractions. Okay. How does the charge up work? I've got some code for handling tinting the player for when they're poisoned. Not that you can tint them. Sprite 2Ds. Material. Sub viewport. Okay, it goes under. Here has. Here? Sprite viewport. Sprite 2Ds. Which is sub viewport / sprites. Okay, so this object here. Set shader parameter. You could do that on this? How are you setting a shader parameter on this? Well, I guess that doesn't super matter, does it? There is a set tint. Actor.setTint. And then you provided a color. Okay, that's what I've got set up. Set tint. All right, so this player, when we charge the player, where do we want to deal with that? Where's the gear spinning here? Gear spin happens. Start spinning. Okay, so right here. So yeah, we probably want to store it on this. Is the electric spin charged? Is electric spin charged equals false. Okay. So when you charge the player, player manager dot is true. Okay, and then in our player code, we need to actually make that properly deal with this. Charge player happens here on detach. Release gear spinner. On detach happens. If is electric spin charged, then we update our tint. Set tint. No, this needs to like blink or something, right? So let's put that in the actual process system. Is that a good place for it? That doesn't feel like a good place for it. It feels more like an animation player thing, but like, where is that? There's the shader material. Okay. Can you mess with shader parameters in an animation player? That is the question. Let's find out. Flash. So let's see. Does this work? Add track. Is it possible? I mean, I get. So it'd be here. Well, that looks okay. That looks like it's doing it. And then we would give him like a bluish. A bluish. He doesn't look like he's doing it. He doesn't look like he's doing it. Let's see what happens in here. In 64 games. Oh, I know this one. He's not blinking. Mario 64 Willow, come on. No. He's not blinking. He's not blinking like I thought he would. Oreo 64. Okay. Okay. Why can't I edit this? Do I need to make unique? What's going on here? Borio. Yoshi. Did I set that animation to auto? I thought I did. I did not. Wait. I did. And it's just not doing. Huh. Okay, hang on. Let's try it over here. In remote view. Remote, go to player, go to sub viewport sprites, go to, well, it's probably not going to let me edit the text, the thing anyway, is it? I don't actually see, oh, there's material. Shift color. That works, but why isn't it able to do that? Okay, so it would be something like this. That looks a little green. That's really funny, Theron. There we go. It'd be like this, I guess. Kind of like this. No, he didn't actually start a quest. Make him rainbow. Could be something like that. Forgot the G. That's all it takes. So that just makes him green if we do that. Like, maybe if he's barking a lot, maybe this works. But why? Okay. It's fine. It's pretty much pure cyan. Okay. Got it. Pure cyan. So that didn't work at all. Gear charge animation. I don't know why. I thought you would be able to animate on that. And you probably can, and I'm just doing something wrong. So... rather than animate it then... color.cyan, right? Func update electric effect. That else go to color.white, which I think is the default. Let me confirm that. Yeah, that would just be white. Okay, so that should tint the player upon getting charged, and then we need some kind of sparking effect to follow him around. He's not blue. He's not even a little bit blue. Why are you not blue? You were supposed to be blue. Remote, player, manager, is electric spin charge is on. Then why aren't you colorful and amazing? That's so weird. Did something wrong, and I don't know what. Print. Maybe, oh, because it's happening deferred, isn't it? It is happening deferred. So update electrical effect should, I guess, also be deferred. No, something feels wrong there. Something feels wrong there. Call it from here, then. How about that? Cold air coming out of here? This is cold air coming out. Weird. How much XP does Theron have? There we go. I'm blue now. That's my attack. Okay, so now you're blue, and I guess I need to get him to spark somehow. Oh, the Tower of Burning Doom was a disaster. Unbelievable. So Charged Gear Spinner has a GPU particle setup going. So we're gonna copy that. And we're gonna say particle, new particles, is that dot duplicate, and then we're gonna go player manager dot player dot add child new particles. And then we're going to actually need to maintain a reference to where that is so that we can delete it when you use the charge. Let's see if that works. I am sparkly. I got a little bit of sparkle to me. It's a little bit low. Where do we want it to actually be? I guess just position it up by like, I don't know, half a unit. Does half a unit look right? Yeah, because that'd be right around the gears. Okay, so the next piece is we need to actually do the special charge attack. So when the player spins, start spinning. If is electrical, then noise is false. Update electric effect. And then do some kind of discharge. Func do electric discharge. Placeholder function. I guess as part of that, if we're doing the electric discharge, we always want to do this. Player manager needs to store electric particle generator as a GPU particle 3D system. player manager dot that equals new particles. And that way, when we do the discharge, we can we can free it. So we'll do a big spin and it will remove the particle effect, change us back to regular color. That's all it's going to do right now. We need some kind of other particle effect that like pew or something when he does it, and then pew, and there we go. Now we're back to normal. It also needs a big crackle of electricity kind of sound, maybe even a cool lightning effect. So when you actually use it, what does it look like? Let's see if we got any good Godot shaders that are free to use, that are like lightning. Canvas item, canvas item, canvas item, canvas item, canvas item, spatial. It's not the best. Lightning ball, maybe. I could see this being something. We can definitely adapt this idea. Oh, or we can just use it upright. It is licensed as CC0. Okay. Noise and other parameter values. All right, let's see how this works. Let's give it a go. Let's see if this is any good. New lightning ball. So we need to create a new shader. Lightning ball. Okay, seems fine. Let's do it. Let's make a lightning ball and see what happens. 3D scene. I assume CSG sphere is fine. That's a pretty cool start. What are the parameters? What do we got? We can give it a tint. That is pretty cool. Purple, white. Purple, blue, white. Purple, white. All right. What else? Distortion vertex. Okay, speed vertex. Can't really see the difference there. Noise. Okay, let's try some noise. Lightning noise 1, lightning noise 2, and noise on the vertex. Well, definitely let's mess with the vertex then. Give me fast noise light. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then this. Fast noise light. Ooh. And how about this one? Ooh. That's a pretty nice little effect. For not a lot of work. Give it some blue. Make it... Oh, we can't really affect the opacity there. Robot. Hello, Al. What if we go under the geometry instance and mess with the transparency? That does nothing. Do not cast shadow. Nice orb. That's a pretty cool orb. I love this orb. That is a good wiggly orb. zoom. Yeah, it'll just do like that. It'll just go zoom and then fade out as it does, which means I need to be able to control the alpha parameter of this. Oh, it's already doing that, isn't it? So let's expose a parameter, because I can do this now, right? Uniform, float, alpha. And we'll take alpha is layer 1 plus layer 2 times alpha. Is that any good? Does that work? Yeah, I can't see it. Can see it. If I go 0.5. Uh-huh. If I go 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. Yeah, then you can kind of barely see. That's perfect, yeah. So we can just ramp that down as it goes. Let's ponder this orb for a bit, shall we? So this will be lightning discharge. So that's scenes. No, it's not. That is mecha entities effects. New fold. Electric discharge. Ponder, ponder, ponder. Ponder, ponder, ponder. Okay. So this needs an animation player to actually go through its dealio. I guess it does need a physical body, though it's not going to have collision in the normal layer. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. We'll figure it out. It is going to have collision, but it's only going to collide with things in layer 9, which is going to be called electric discharge receptor. Wait, no. Hang on. I don't want it to actually be solid. I just want to detect when it hits stuff. So I guess that more means that it needs to be an area that matches this collision shape. And then that area needs to manage the collision information. Okay, it's gonna hit, let's say, an enemy. Enemies have an area, so it could say that it enters the area of the enemy. But enemies are also collidable. There's two separate things. There's a detection range on the enemy, and there's the actual solid enemy object. So electrical receptors could be an area that the collision comes in contact with. So it could be that this is a solid object, but not solid. You're thinking area 3D spherical collision shape. Yeah, that's the two ways to go, is either this is the solid thing that hits the area, or this is the area that handles collision with the solid things. So for that, we would need to adjust enemies a little bit. Not much. It's just the area is the one that's going to be handling the code, and it's just gonna, I think it's just gonna pass the signal straight back over to the enemy that detects it in the first place. That's probably the way to go, is just let this kind of listen for the collision, but then all the logic for what happens, put the effort on the enemy to do it. I would love it if it did, but I don't think it does any better than Mesh or Area 3D Collision Shape. Sorry, not Mesh. The actual Spherical Collision Shape. Actually, come to think of it, no. You know what? Collision Shape has to be. That's the one that's optimized. CSG Sphere actually breaks it into tries because you have control over the number of segments. And I remember the Solidity actually does respect that. So if you had a very low segmented thingamabopper, yeah, it treats that as, you know, a million different triangles instead of Collision Shape, which just does radial math. Like, is it within this distance? That's it. One single square root check. Okay, so we got to make sure that the size of this pretty well matches the size of the CSG sphere. It's a little work to pair them in the animation player because I have to remember to do them both. But we are doing the code anyway. We are going to have code for this anyway. So maybe we just let it be handled by the process function. Check those normals. Pew, 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 pew. So we want to have this particular. There's no way. No, you can't. No, you can't do that. Ooh. Okay. We do need to. Here's something silly. I do want to make sure that we're not directly affecting this mesh radius, because if somehow you have two of these electrical discharges out at once, I don't foresee that ever being possible, but if it were, we want to make sure that we are independently changing the collision shape, which would normally be shared. So we're going to want to make sure that we deal with that appropriately. Shape. It is shape, right? Yeah. Equals. I think we can just duplicate it to make it unique. That's all make unique is. Piranha Plant Slide. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. To this, you would think as much Mario as I play, I would be above average at spelling piranha, but no. Collision sphere is a sphere shape 3D. Radius equals CSG sphere dot radius. There we go. So that will keep that in sync, in lockstep. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, Slay the Spire. Okay, so the animation is the. It's not gonna loop. It is gonna autoplay. How fast does it go? I don't know. So we are going to start it at really, really small. And it's going to go for about 2 seconds. Up to a size of Radius 3. And additionally, in that time, we're gonna have to. Oh, how do we mess with the parameters here? How do we mess with the parameters? Like, it looks like I'm doing it here, but I just don't know. Oh, okay, that looks like it's doing it. Man, now 3 feels like too much. That looks pretty cool. I like that. So increase this to 2.5 because after this finishes, we're gonna call Q free from the animation player. That's right. Maybe we leave it at 2.5. I guess we're just gonna have to see what works. Okay. Dun, dun. I don't want the player to be carrying around a preloaded effect like this all the time for every scene. So instead, welcome in, Mr. Luau. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the discharge scene. This is a little bit silly. No. Hang on. No. Let's do this. Let's preload it. Let's preload it on the charged gear spinner here. Vex, electrical discharge. Preload. And then we will attach it to the player manager and then throw it in the scene when the player charges. So we're gonna have a player manager scene. Electrical particle generator is attached. We're also gonna have preloaded electrical discharge. But we're not going to actually run the scene. We're going to say charge. Okay, I think this one still needs the area. Drew the rolling seed guy, but turned him into a bird, kind of. Seed had some little things that kind of look like beaks. I love a good rolling seed guy. There was a game I played a while back. Botanicula, kind of a botany botanicula, by the Samorost guys. I played that with my kid, and she liked it a lot. It was fun. Would recommend. It was free, so that's perfect. Oh, the rolling sea guy. Prickle, right? That it would have been a while ago. I've been making poor progress on chapter 2. We're gonna instantiate it, but not add it to the scene. We're gonna preload it, but not add it to the scene here. So you can have one at a time ready. But then when you do the discharge, then we're going to actually add it to the scene as a sibling. So add sibling preload electrical discharge. Preload electrical discharge dot global position equals player dot global position plus 0.5 up. All right, let's see if this works. I actually don't know what's gonna happen. I have heard of it. I've seen a bit of gameplay, but it's been a while. Okay, and then beep, beep, beep. Did not work. Where's my electrical discharge? Really, where is it? What happened there? Oh, hang on. I'll be right back. All good, all good. All right, so what I need to do, slow down the game. Run it, pause it. Where is... That didn't happen. Did not happen. Wait, was that it over there? Did I have constructive opinions on your game choices? I don't recall what that might have been. Huh, where is it? Where is it? Add sibling. Print this. Okay, what happened there? It did have a node 5 seconds ago. Oh, okay, I get it. Nuclear Throne and Yakuza. Okay, I'm with it. I was like, what are we talking about now? I don't understand. Who are you? Who am I? No, because I've never played either of those. So I couldn't levy an opinion if I wanted to. Wait, it was there. I saw it. Why was it so far over there, though? Why was it so far away? Because add sibling is happening then. Okay, you got to put add sibling in that order. That's a weird rendering order. That's Leon. He's going back in the void. Get out of here, Leon. Give us cat. Okay. Electrical discharge. CSG sphere, this material here, let's put that at a higher rendering priority. Will that help? Yes. Okay, that is much better. But... oh, TF2, heck yeah. Is it moving with me? It is, isn't it? Yeah, because the player manager, add sibling, I need to do player.add sibling here. Who do you main in TF2? There we go. That looks all right. It's a little slow. It's a little slow, isn't it? And it's not big enough. So, animation player. Let's go back to 3 on this, but also let's speed it up a bit. Pyron Soldier. Now I'm kind of curious as to my stats here. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be something I want to see here. Let's see. Stats. There's 520 achievements now. Let's see here. Let me put actual stats though. I remember it's leaderboards. We don't want that. I get to stats. View your stats. Here we go. All right. What do I go see here? How bad is it gonna be? Okay, it's not terrible. Okay, total gameplay time, 2,800 hours. So, I mean, that could be worse. That could be worse. It could be better. My least played class is Sniper with 75 hours. We should input lock. We should be input locked. It didn't work. Like, does the game not play when you attempt it? This is valuable information. Least played was, yeah. Most played class, Soldier, 525. Had some really good lives as Soldier. I played a lot of Engineer when I started out because I had terrible lag, and Sentry guns don't care about lag because that's all server side. That was my strategy, and it was good. Oh no. We want to, when we do the electrical discharge, we want to input lock for a little bit. Player.input lock. True. Electrical discharge. Okay, so input lock. Input lock false. Await for, I don't know, a bit. How does that work? How does that look? I forbid myself from reinstalling that game. All right, that seems good right there. You kind of lock in place a bit. It needs a different sound. It needs a different animation probably, but it's fine. No one is denying that that I am in fact old. But no, it's longtime viewers will know I get hooked hard on some things, and it takes a while to shake. Pushing 30. I have long since pushed 30. Okay, so we got the electrical discharge. It's got an area. So now we need to put in body entered, body exited. We don't actually need body exited. We just need body entered. This is where it's going to get a little bit complex. Okay, so we have an enemy. It's going to collide because it is solid. It is solid. So then... How do we tell if it is an enemy? We can look to see if it's an actor and then search to see if there's an actor zone under it. Encounter zone. Wait, can you... Hang on. There might be an easier way here. When the received area enters this area. You can do areas entering areas. Well, let's just do that. Let's just do that instead. Disconnect this one. Get rid of it. At that point, we still have some trickiness to it. What are we guessing here? What's our category? Twitch chat is not letting me scroll up. I cannot scroll. There it goes. SNES games. SNES games? No, that was Mario's Missing. And then we did Odyssey Power Moons. Oh gosh, good luck. I know the last few words. What is that second word? Ah, there we go. Quite. I was not ready for a cue. I was like, not built. Buell? Al has played the minigame so much, he just has every single one of them memorized at this point. It's scary. Yeah, I knew it was Captain Toad, at least. But gosh, it's been a while since I've done Odyssey. Video game expert. That's him. That's him. Okay, so an area, encounter zone, has an area. So I want to look at the parent of the area to determine if it's an encounter zone. Is that right? Because that will give me an encounter code. So I want to see it is encounter code in parent. If encounter code in area parent. Probably an encounter zone. We can check it a little bit more. You know what? I have never bought a Manco key because I started playing TF2 in, I want to say, October 2007. Oh no. October 2000. Huh. That's a scary thought. Have a good night, Liari. My TF2 stats are legal now. My TF2 stats can vote. Well, because when they introduced the crates and the keys, microtransactions were still on the that was still kind of a new-ish thing in gaming, and so it was rightfully pointed out like that feels a little bit predatory. I don't know about this. And so it was not hard for me to just kind of dig in my heels and say I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Okay, so the idea is that we want to set it up so that enemies get shocked. When they're struck by this. So I want to grab this Cogmite here and put it in this room temporarily. We're not gonna give him a patrol cycle though. No, yes, I guess we are gonna give him a small patrol cycle. No, not so sure. Hey, there he is. Except he's invisible for some reason. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, yeah, you're on the old side of Twitch. It is what it is. Okay, so confused timer. How does this work? Okay, confused timer turns on. And then it's back to patrol mode. So what I want to do is if you get shocked, I want to have a new state. Right now the states are what? Patrol, chase, lost. That's it, right? Patrol, chase, or lost. So I could have a new state for this particular... No, I don't want it to be set for just this, though. Yeah, not the patrol. I want it to be this one here. Yeah, patrol cycle. So it's going to put a new state in it. That is a fun fact. And admittedly, I might not have every N64 game in that minigame. So the rendering engine... I don't remember what the default is. Godot has a default that I think is Vulkan rendering. Oh, you never told me what the issue was with the demo. Does it just crash immediately or what? Because if so, we have a potential workaround that requires setting Steam launch options to override the rendering driver. Say Godot. Hang on. Okay.
Godot. Godot.
Ah. Godot. Chosen in reference to Samuel Beckett's play. Waiting for
Godot.
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 Or Godot. Aha!
Godot.
A tragicomedy play by Irish playwright and writer Samuel Beckett, first published in 1952. There we go. Yeah, that might be it. There is a... Let me jump over to the community hub on Steam. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, okay. So here is a potential fix here. This might be what you need. I can't confirm that. But for people that are getting crashes on launch, that has been the magic bullet that has fixed it for most people. If that does not fix it, I might ask for a log file and see if we can troubleshoot it and see what's going on. Because that's really scary if it doesn't work on your machine. It's like, what's the deal there? Why doesn't it work? Okay. So, enemy patrol does get processed, apparently. Dang. So what does patrol cycle do then? Oh, patrol cycle says which of those things to do, right? Is chasing, move to target. Oh, and then enemy patrol doesn't actually move you, does it? Enemy patrol is merely what? Messing with the patrol logic target position. Here we go. Gray screen. Gray screen. That's super weird. I mean, I guess there's going to be a point where if you go old enough on hardware, it will not work any longer. Let's see. Did you? I can't scroll up in Twitch chat. Twitch chat is not letting me scroll up. Okay, just really old NVIDIA GPU, but we don't know the details of that. Gray screen. Okay, gray. Well, no, it almost made sense for a second there to me. There is a location you can go for log files. If I can remember where that is. Here's the old. There we go. Log files are placed in this location on your computer, I think. Yeah. So if there are any files in there, you should see a Godot.log file. That's going to be the latest file. I would be happy to take a look and see if I can make heads or tails of it. I can't promise anything, but we can see. How do we stop this guy from... Wallow is a different beast, isn't he? Because... I'm trying to think of how we can create a stun mechanism. So this guy right here, he's got a patrol cycle. Vanish. Oh! Okay, never mind. That's handled by... Okay, that's still handled by patrol cycle code. Okay, this is doable then. Yeah, if it's patrol, then just move to target. Yeah, okay, this could work. It just stays on the gray. Yeah, that sounds like something's just not even loading. Hey, welcome in, Raiders! Yeah! J-Blow, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. What are you working on? How did your stream go? Hi, everybody. Oh, here comes. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Yeah, who knew? Jonathan Blow, Braid. I'm old, so I hear Jonathan Blow and I just think Braid. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Everyone coming in. My name is Dobbs. I'm a hobbyist game developer. Full-time. Get witnessed. Okay. I never played The Witness. I've seen a bit of it. I have a friend who hates everything. And he has strong opinions on. But I know that all the games he hates, I genuinely enjoy. What are you working on? I am working on a bit of a fun little passion project. I think, all right, I'm going to get on my soapbox here. There are not okay. Hyper-focus, special interest. There are not enough games in the style of the GameCube classic Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. That is my genuine opinion. And so I am aiming to fix that. Thank you for the before your time. Hey, thank you for the follow. Like I've said, all follows are anonymous. It is an homage. I feel like I should, but I should wait a few years until I remember less of watching a playthrough of it. Yeah, you got to get that one out of the way. This is my no, get out of here. You're not the partner. There we go. There, cat. This is my game. Bright, happy colors. Fun little characters. Look at these fun little guys. They don't make doors as old as they used to anymore. So true, Al. Yeah, this is something I've been working on for about a year and a half now. Battle system is fully working. It's got mini games. It's got lots of. We're gonna fast forward. It's got lots of dialogue because you know what? It's an RPG, and that's what you're gonna get in this kind of game. It's got a giant pig. Look at this guy. And it's got a lot of work left to do. My current goal, for anyone that's actually familiar with Thousand Year Door, yes, it's very similar to Thousand Year Door. There are some spins on it. Thank you for the follow. And thank you also for the follow. It's not, there it goes. It's not playing it right after the other. There are some twists here and there, including a flanking system battle, but that's more of an event battle, not a common situation. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Here we can do I have the trailer? No, that's the pre-trailer. Here, it's gonna explain it better, right? Thank you for the follow. All follows are not. Jeez, thank you guys so much. But yeah, the battle system is very much in line with Thousand Year Door because I think, okay, out of every Paper Mario, thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Out of all of the Paper Mario games, as much as I love Origami King in concept, but I hated the battle system. Thousand Year Door, bar none, best battle system in Paper Mario. Let's see here. There we go. This is the game in glorious 360p. So it's got like the action command system, XP, low damage numbers, a little bit of a twist on the badge system. It's more of like an inventory Tetris sort of thing. Yeah, I love the action command system. Standard RPGs, I don't know. I feel like there's just not enough things you can do about it. That's the flank system. I have one person helping with music, and then I have chat helping with really good ideas, and occasionally really bad ideas. Yeah, if anyone wants to play this out because they actually like Thousand Year Door and think, yeah, that was a good game, there should be more of that. This demo is available. Still working out the bugs that are like hardware specific. There we go. Secretly good. Controller you bring back some memories, because I used to play Earthbound like that with my neighbor. He had a physical copy of Earthbound. Mr. Lua, are you on the Discord? You can send it to me. You can either send it to me directly, or there's a bug report channel on the Discord. Wally, he's a little bit like Wally. He's similar, but he's his own thing. He's his own thing. Yeah, that was so weird that Earthbound let you do that. Like, why? I'm not complaining, it was fun. Okay, so Paper Mario. Thousand Year Door, cream of the crop, absolutely impeccable. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Thousand Year Door had the best battle system, really, really good music, a genuinely good plot, and fantastic writing. Oh, thank you, Cyber. I appreciate that. Paper Mario 64. Battle system was pretty good. It was almost there. It just needed a little extra, which Thousand Year Door definitely did a great job of. Plot, it was very Mario game kind of plot. Very straightforward, no big twists. It's fine. Nothing to write home about. The writing was not quite there either. Thank you, Mr. Luau. I'll take a look. I feel like it was a little bit reserved, like it wasn't... Thousand Year Door was just off the wall, like, whoa, intense writing, really clever stuff, and I've really tried to capture that in Paper Robot. And so far, the people that I've seen play it are very complimentary of the writing, and they say, yeah, you nailed it. You got it exactly where it needed to be. That is so much like Thousand Year Door. It's surprising. There are quite a few people who genuinely love Thousand Year Door out there that you can find and pester them to play your video game. All right, but Origami King. Stellar music. Fairly dumb plot. Hated the battle system. Because it wasn't really an RPG battle system. It was a puzzle game. Like, it was like an arcade puzzle game. It was like playing a round of Bejeweled or Peggle in lieu of normal Paper Mario style combat. Yes, I think the remake was very true to the original. They changed a handful of things, but all perfectly good changes. The most noteworthy change that I appreciated was adding the pipe for Twilight Town, so that instead of making the trip back and forth 5 times in Chapter 4, you only have to make the trip 3 times. Yeah, music was good. I only played Partners in Time of the Mario and Luigi series, and it was pretty good, but you can see in it, that was so good with the pipe. Like, how did they... I feel like in the original, they were just like, all right, how do we squeeze as much playtime out of this as possible? It's fine. It's fine. All right, that's one of the things that I want to fix. I'm fixing Thousand Year Door with my game. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to make backtracking much less backtracky. My rule is if you have to go back to a place, like if you have to go up a road and then back down a road the other way, I 100% want the return trip to have some difference. Like, oh, if you're going to the west, then you have to take this route. But if you're going the same path to the east, well, now you have no choice but to take the high road and something. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit that 100% of the time. Thank you for the follow. But that's my goal. Secondly, here, I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw for you. I'm going to draw for you a Thousand Year Door room. This is what a scene looks like in Thousand Year Door. Uh-huh. Okay. So this is obviously Petal Meadows, room 1. Wait, actually, hang on. No, this is Bogley Woods, room 3. Wait, no. This is Twilight Forest. No, this is that 1, 2, 3. Those 3 rooms from Keelhaul Key. Wait, no. This is the room from Far Outpost. Wait, no. This is that one part of you get it. This is every room in Thousand Year Door. Is there you come in, maybe you hit a switch or something, and then you leave. And there's 2 to 3 enemies sprinkled in there. And that's another goal. We're gonna fix that. What are we working on? Okay, right. Get the heart rate back down. Hi, welcome. All right, I'm getting off the soapbox now. In conclusion, I love Thousand Year Door, and there's some things I want it to be that are better. That is a big pig. Look at this guy. He's jiggly. Okay, Wide Boy. That's Biggle. He's a type of piggle. All right, so the thing we are actually working on. We're in chapter 2. We're in chapter 2, which is a big old jungle. With. Okay, don't laugh. I'm putting a Star Fox minigame in chapter 2 for no particularly good reason. Just because it's going to be funny. There we go. That's all I'm going to show you. A surprising amount of stuff that happens in this game, unfortunately, is build up for a dumb joke. But never in a way that a little bit of Sonic on I never played anything on Dreamcast except for like 5 minutes of Sonic Adventure 2 at Bandcamp in the year 2000, I believe. No, 1999? No, 2000. Yeah, Dooku. That happens sometimes. That was really weird, because it's not the first time that a high-profile game developer has shown up. Yeah. Will this release on Switch also? A big it depends. Yeah, Dan Salvato showed up. He wasn't even the one that raided me. That was Carl Sagan 42 that raided. Doctor, I am Pagliacci. Gosh, we need to do something tonight. We're going to be productive. Mr. Liu, I will check on your stuff probably tomorrow. and try and figure out what's going on with that issue. That's a weird one. That is a weird one. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. We are just 43 follows away from the 1,300 follower special. That's dumb. That's a dumb joke that someone I knew used to make a lot. Play this game right now. Yes, do it. This is a fun game, and I got the nicest review. I got the nicest review on this demo the other day. We're gonna get it working for you. Don't worry. It's weird. You have to like go in to learn more about this demo, to look at the demo specific page. This is the one. Hang on, this is the one. This is the nicest thing anyone has ever written about anything I've ever made. Let's see. When someone puts their heart into something, you can tell. This is a game that is a love letter to its inspiration, but it does not take away from the things the game does fantastically on its own. I can't wait to see what the full release has in store. That is the nicest thing anyone has ever said about anything I've ever made ever. And you guys don't count. It's like when your mom says that you're handsome. Chat, you guys are basically my mom. No, I'm sorry, Willow. You're biased. Because you hang out and you know more context about me as a person. And as a result, I can't trust you to be a neutral party. Yeah, see that's the problem there. All right, chapter 2. You are in an overgrown solar field near the factory, the City of Dreams. I hope it gives off that vibe. Leon, I am tired of seeing your face. We are not working on you right now. Okay, so the idea is that this is going to be we really need something more than just you turn blue when this happens. So the idea is boom, and then special attack is going to allow you to stun the enemy somehow. So what we need to do, okay, it does detect the area. This is good. So now we need to actually make it do something. So we've got our actor, is it actor patrol cycle? Yeah, actor patrol cycle. Hey, Rock Roberts. You did get into Pen Pals for a bit, didn't you? Pen Pals is currently the only paid game I have on Steam. It's like $3. It is very Suika-esque. How do you buy stuff? So in Moon Rover, are you in the shop? If you're in the shop, you just click on the thing on the big button of the thing you want to buy, but you have to have enough money. Hovercat, do you know who Jonathan Blow is? Okay, that's fine. No, probably not. Do you remember Braid? Okay. That's the only thing I've really talked about of his. That's how shops work. Oh my gosh, the music is... Oh, someone was asking a while back if I was working on this on my own. I'm doing all the coding and the art and the level design and the 3D modeling, but someone else is doing about 75 to 80% of the music. The look, yeah. Oh no, I think I might have seen... I don't know. As dumb as it is, when someone was playing The Witness, I watched it for a bit and then intentionally stopped watching because I was like, someday I'm gonna want to play this, and I can't look at this anymore because it's what I've seen is ruining part of it for me. Jealous of how fast I do the art. I scribble the art out. I think I would. Gosh, I would enjoy playing video games, but we have to be productive. This is very important to me. Give me 3 years and we're gonna play so many video games. Let's make it 4. Get to work. Right. Okay, so we're gonna have a... So Actor Patrol Cycle... is owned by... Where's our area? Encounter Zone. Okay, Encounter Zone will have a sibling called Patrol Cycle. Great. Ugh, I hate that. Yeah, there was a few games that I was able to go in spoiler-free years after their release, and like I have no idea. I played Hollow Knight like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And somehow I had never seen... All I saw was people saying, it's an amazing game, you gotta play it, amazing game. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna focus really hard on never learning anything about this game until I get a chance to play it. And I pulled it off. It was like dodging raindrops. And then the same thing happened with Tunic. Tunic was one I was actively looking forward to. Like, I had known about that years before it released. And it was like amazing, an amazing experience. Tunic! Jeez, I can't say enough nice things about it. Gosh, there's some talented people out there. And I'm sitting here just talking about Thousand Year Door and looking at this code and not making any changes to it. I promise I can do it. Who made Tunic? Oh gosh, what was the team name? All that's coming to mind is the beta name of the game. Finji, that sounds right. I keep thinking Secret Legend made it. Like, no, that was the name of the game. Oh yeah, Al, I watched you play a lot of the Lingo games. Those were pretty neat. It is that same vibe of the game slowly teaches you how to solve the puzzles and then keeps drastically iterating on it. Okay, Actor Patrol Cycle is a sibling to the Encounter Zone. Yuck. But doable. Encounter Zone is always nested under the actual actor. So, electrical discharge happens. We have an Encounter Zone. Now let's get the Patrol Cycle. This is gonna be hard, but doable. For child in area parent dot get parent, if shoot, I can't look for the name of the node. All right, let's just give it a property that we can search for. This is a dumb. Don't do this. This is a dumb shortcut. Don't do this. Do as I say, not as I do. When's the Moon Rover full screen? You should be able to... I think F11 works for that. I think I specifically added that. So Moon Rover was the first game I ever made on stream. It was ages ago. It was a fun experiment. We did that one in like a month. It is all vanilla JavaScript. Secret Legend was, I think, like the beta name when they first started it. And actually, if you look on the instruction manual, we got really in-depth in playing Tunic. And by we, I mean I played it, and my friends watched and helped me decipher things. I can't... All right, there's a lot of people here, and I don't want to spoil anything. But there was a moment of understanding. Oh, and it was incredible. A breakthrough. Moon Rover just stays small. That is weird. Moon Rover might have something in the options menu for that. If not, best you can do is control scroll wheel to zoom in the browser. No, if you look at the back of the instruction manual for Tunic, I think it says Secret Legend around some logo back there. Additionally, the game executable is actually named Secret Legend. Like if you see it in the taskbar. Get parent. No, get children. What was I doing? What was I doing here? Get children. If patrol cycle is not equal to null, then. All right, so now finally we set up a function. Get shocked. There we go. That's it. And then later we'll also have something to do. Lightning rod switch things. We don't have those yet. Some kind of like Tesla coil, but in reverse, like something that's going to detect the electricity and use it somehow. I don't know exactly. What? Where are you? Where are you? What are you complaining about? So Get Shocked is going to make the actor, which is what? Actor Patrol, so it's just the parent. Okay. Parent.tinyhop. We have a nice function called tinyhop. Oh, Nintendo. I was so hopeful about Mario Wonder. I genuinely thought, okay, here we go. I'm seeing it ramp up. They're adding more cool things. I've got this sinking feeling that this is basically just a setup for a new Mario Maker theme, the way that everything is so tile-based and there's like not a whole lot of cool set-piece stuff going on. The Wonder effects even are just one guy, or it really feels like in Mario Wonder, it's one team setting up all these effects and then another team actually designing the levels. And that's not bad, but it feels like there's not as much, like, we are making this effect specifically for this one cool setup kind of stuff, like what you see in Tropical Freeze. Why is this not going? There we go. Tropical Freeze was hard. All right, can we make this guy hop? Nope. How did we end up with Mario Wonder? That's a good question. How did I end up on Mario Wonder? What was I talking about? Too easy. Right. The final challenge of Mario Wonder. I was like, all right, I really hope this isn't actually the final challenge because it doesn't feel like things have been ramping up in difficulty that much. And no, it was like, I don't know, a dozen short sections, and they weren't that bad. Will my game have difficulty? So that's a tricky thing because it is not first and foremost a game revolved around like the same type of difficulty challenge. I'm going to try and take the route that Bug Fables took, which is have optional challenge modes. I don't think I got him. Oh, come on. Did that get him? I'm not seeing anything in the logs here. No, it's not triggering on him. So what are we hitting here? What are we hitting? Bug Fables. Bug Fables, that is hitting. Bug Fables, I would say, is very much in the style of Paper Mario 64, specifically. So its main twist is 3 party members instead of 2. There's no dedicated main player versus partner player. It is more in line of 3 equally important heroes. Any of them can be in the front. Yeah, the green guys suck. Any of them can be in the front. They can swap out. You can kind of tag team a lot and use strategy in an interesting way. All 3 heroes get a turn every round. You can relay your turn to a different hero. V is clearly the main character. That's true. She's worth like 3 Bs. And so one of your heroes can get multiple turns in a round, but every time you use an extra turn in one round, that extra turn is penalized with slightly decreased strength for the duration of that turn. So you really have to strategize in an interesting way. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. On the whole, I really liked it. No build felt particularly unbeatable. Thousand Year Door, there's a very obvious badge setup that destroys everything. It was him. It's true. I'll verify. It was them. Paris is the one that followed. In Thousand Year Door, Danger Mario is the strat. You slap on a ton of badges that just up your strength when your HP is 5 or below, and you just become a glass cannon. You wreck everything in one turn. It's so overpowered. They're anonymous. You don't know what you're talking about. I guess Red Child. Maybe something's different here. Oh, cool. That's not what I meant to do. Great. Cool. I mean, not if the battle ends before it has a chance to melt. Okay. So what do we get? An area 3D and a sprite 3D. Wait, hang on. Oh, I know what's going on here. Oh, no. But yeah, I guess so, huh? encounter zone here is what we're striking, right? Why do we need to reparent that exactly? I remember why. I think I remember why. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Dang. No, this is doable. This is still doable. I'm hoping we see a bit of resurgence with this kind of stuff. I didn't play Expedition 33. I've heard a lot of good things. And I do like that kind of RPG. So maybe now the setting, the overall tone is a bit too heavy for what I like. Thousand Year Door and Bug Fables both hit it pretty well, which is here's a whimsical, pretty much cartoony world, but there's some underlying heavy stuff that we're gonna sneak in. I do want to hit that sweet spot with my game here, if we can manage it. I don't know what's gonna happen. Fingers crossed. Yeah. It's like, gosh. Yeah. I'm gonna play it more straight and just have like these dumb, silly frogs, but then also there's gonna be some really heavy stuff just underneath. It is. There's so many people that like these kinds of games, and they all like slightly different things. There's an audience for everything. Bug Fables really is solid. It's incredible. They actually updated it just like a year ago with a fishing minigame that I haven't played yet. Why did they do that? I don't know. It's fun. Okay, so we need to change how this works. We do some reparenting stuff. Yeah, this. Moving this outside of the actor so it doesn't move with the actor. I mean, that makes sense. Not using top level flag so that we can still move the two nodes together easily in the editor. But, you fool, why don't I just set the top level flag? Where's the top level flag? What is that called? Top underscore level. Oh wait, is Patrol Cycle? No. Okay, it is a Node 3D. You fool, what if I just say top level? It's true. If it exists, that is. All right, and then get rid of this. We're not going to reparent. That might have broken something. There's a chance that broke something. He didn't hop. Okay. What do we get there? Still Area 3D and Sprite 3D. That feels like then that it still did the reparent nonsense. It certainly did, didn't it? Yeah, Cogmite is here. No, wait. Patrol Cycle is here. Okay. So Encounter Zone. Okay. Not the children in the Encounter Zone, but in the parent's parent. Ooh. This is the one. We're finally going to get this guy to hop. Okay, I'll take it. In character body, it's not Tiny Hop. It's Pascal Case. Okay, that's it then. We're good. Good. He's going to hop. And then we can actually do something like make him dizzy for a bit, like change his animation when he gets shocked. Oh, come on. Don't actually get into a battle. I really should, but here's the problem. If I play a video game, then I'm no longer making progress. Yay, he hopped. You're absolutely right. Get this nerd out of here. Okay, he hops. Good. Let's get this nerd out of here. Set. All right, get Cat as our default partner again, please. Tired of looking at Leon's lizardy face. Okay. So now we can shock him. Shocking does nothing right now. It just makes him do a little dance. So we're gonna add a shock timer. And you get shocked for 4 seconds, let's say. And additionally, this is going to mess with your animation. So let's see here. We want is paused, huh? Yeah, we do want is paused. So if shock timer is going on, reduce it by delta. Clamp that. Oh wait, no, don't do it. We can do better. We can do better. Shock timer equals move toward. It still feels a little bit weird, but it works by delta. Lock you in place, and that's it, I think. Then we need to actually mess with the animation. Do we have anywhere we're messing with the animation? Not yet. So, do we have a reference to we do have a reference to animation player here. So what else can do? Parent dot animation player dot play. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Have a good night, Mr. Luau. I'll take a look at that bug that you posted after stream. Well, before next stream. All right, so check it out. There is an animation we've already got built in for every actor called Hurt. And that's, I think, what we want to do is the Hurt animation. So we're going to say play the Hurt animation. How long does the Hurt animation last? Probably not long enough. Get rid of the little hop. We're done with that. I've been saying Mr. Luau. Nice, nice, nice. We're gonna need to yeah, now we need to set it back to normal. And that is if shock timer actually hits 0, set back to the idle animation. Whoops, not get 0, equals 0. I think that works. Why? How would you prefer it pronounced? I will try to make adjustments accordingly to my brain. Ah ha ha! Perfect. So that shocks enemies now. Yay. I would also maybe like to... No, that's fine. What's up with the robot becoming... So that's a placeholder. I need to come up with a better visual indicator. So this is a special field move you're going to get in Chapter 2. It's my least favorite type of... All right. To be clear, this is not a Metroidvania, but in this genre, in this micro genre, this genre within a genre. You do get new moves as you proceed through the game for the field, and those do help you access new areas and maybe find secrets in old areas of the game. This one is you can already attach yourself to gears in the world and sort of control things. Chip! Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid. Chip, you'll never guess who is here tonight. Wait, what are we doing now? What broke? What broke? Nil? Why is a regular gear spinner breaking now? Who is here? Jonathan Blow. Jonathan Blow is here. Describes it. I mean, well, okay. Okay now. Hold on a second. I would not describe Paper Mario. Medusa T. Dustin, thank you for the gift sub for Big Boy Games Official. Big Boy, thank you for the raid. Enjoy the emotes and ad-free viewing. It's a real party now. I love Metroidvania elements. I love getting a reason to go back and visit old areas. Ah, man, I love it. What is failing here? How did this start failing? What did I do to deserve this? How in the world did this fail? Did I break something? Oh, I did break something somehow. Uh-oh. 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 Oh no. Hang on, something major may have happened here. I need to check my pending changes here. How did this happen? Where did our decay weight go? Ah, it startled me. Okay, it's definitely something in the base gear spinner, right? Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Cuckoo Cachoo? Right. Gotcha. Oh, man, I want to play Silk Song more. I want to finish the Steel Soul run. But we need to be productive. I've been trying to get through a Steel Soul run. I'm past the first great filter for me, which is Widow. Widow was the one I was scared about. And I've done some routing, and I went in with 6 masks. So it's possible, with a small sequence break, to get 6 masks before even leaving Farfield. And that really makes me feel a lot safer. So we beat Widow, and now it's like the game is opened up. After that, we immediately went off and all right, we got Claw Line. I got the Fade Down Cloak really easily. It was nothing. The next plot thing is Cogwork Dancers, but the next big scary thing is Trobio. I'm genuinely scared of Trobio. But I think I can have 8 masks and a damage upgrade going into Trobio. Wait, 2 damage upgrades. Trobio! Actually, let's you skip the platforming section at the top of the map. You don't say. Wait, to get to the... How high up do you... Oh, you need to get the silk art. Surely that's patched. There's been multiple... Rune Rage has broken a lot of things. They've had to go back and patch a few things for that. Base gear spinner. It's got to be the decay weight, right? Yeah, look at this. This is all wrong, right? How did we break this so much? Okay. Does that fix it? Are we good now? I feel like maybe it's the same. Okay, here we go. Maybe it's the same shortcut we're thinking of. Okay, so anyway, there's these little gears that you can interact with in the world to control things and use that for platforming and other various things. Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, get out here. All right, apparently I fixed it, so that's good. But yeah. All right, let's. We're almost out of time tonight. Dang it! How are we almost out of time again? This is ridiculous. That's fine. That's fine. Dun, 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 dun. Let's make it. All right. Here's what I want to do. I want this whole electrical thing being used against enemies to be a thing. And we're going to further jump on that by saying, if you get into combat with an enemy while they are shocked, then they start combat with a status effect that penalizes them. Oh yeah, with the little millipede things. Yeah, it's fine. It gets a little scary if you flub something and suddenly you drop like 3 masks while trying to gain silk back. But other than that, it's fine. But wait, do you even have to go that far for 100%? What do you need up there for 100%? Because you don't need the memento. You don't need the enemy data. I think the farthest up you have to go is the silk art, and that's way before the real platforming stuff. Now, if you wanted to do like a true 100% where you actually get all the trackable things, then definitely you would have to go up there. But the game doesn't track that for the achievement, at least. Oh, how are we gonna do this? Okay. How are we gonna do this? Encounter zone. You jump into an encounter zone. How do we know that the enemy is shocked? We could set a variable on the encounter zone as well. Kind of hate that. Patrol cycle does not know about the encounter zone, and encounter zone does not know about the patrol cycle. They are completely disjointed, which is normally a good thing, but I actually need to carry some information between now. I actually need to know what's going on in each other. Okay, hang on. We do have... Never mind. No, we don't. That's shared actors. I could get the patrol cycle or the encounter zone from one or the other, but it'd be a little bit of an annoying grab. But it is doable. Okay, yeah, I think we kind of need to do this. On ready. we're going to keep track of a potential encounter zone. And it may be null, and it may not be null. So that's going to be for child in parent.getChildren. If something in child, then encounter zone equals child. Break. Oh, I love Cane of Samaria. Or do I, though? Alright. Counter zone keeps track of this. That's still a little ugly. But we can do it. Is shocked. By default, it's false. And then this is going to be if encounter zone is not null, then encounter zone dot is shocked is equal to shock timer being greater than 0. Okay, so now we can detect if the encounter zone is shocking or not. And now we'll jump over to our encounter manager. This is the one. Now this is where we actually kick off. Is it? Is this where we kick off the encounter? Encounter manager is supposed to keep track of the fights, right? Or does encounter zone do it? Ready, process, populate, player. Oh, does the player keep? Who keeps track of it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So. If the enemy is shocked, we can say, well then, you shocked the enemy on the way in, therefore they are penalized somehow. If is shocked. All right, so apparently we're doing something called encounter details now. What is encounter details then? Because we're setting is shocked on that. Whatever it is. Gear strike. True. Encounter zone. Okay, so then battle manager here. Is shocked. And here is where we can set the status effects. For enemy in enemy side units. Battle actions dot apply status effect to enemy. 1 turn, 1 whatever status effect directory. What's our poison? They get poison. I don't know. Sure. If you're shocked, you get poison. For now, this is placeholder just so that we have this. Maybe, I think lose a turn is pretty harsh in this game. Oh, geez. Cat, why are you poisoned? Cat's not poisoned. Why is Cat green? They get bad hair day. Now we're talking. That's a good status effect. Why is Cat green? What does that mean? How did you get green? Okay, that's silly. How did you get green? Super Trickstay. Very clever of you. What are the other status effects? Defense down. Confusion. Now there's an idea. Gosh, here's Battle Manager. Confusion is pretty rough. Because I think that's a chant. Yeah, green is part of the point. That's what's throwing me for a loop. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Because Cat's not the one that should be getting poisoned. Oh, all right, hold on. We haven't actually used confusion. Okay, well, that was a waste then. Okay, good to know. They don't get unstuck from that animation once they get confused, so that's cool. It's a placeholder. It just, confusion is not normally in the game. Getting a lot. It's a busy night. It's a weirdly busy night. Blocked. Get blocked, nerd. Now, are you actually rolling the dice on this confusion effect, or are you just not? Am I just getting unlucky here? It's fine. To do. Actual thematically appropriate status effect here. This is fine because right now this isn't even possible anywhere in the game. We've proven, though, that now, yes, you can get a status effect going from the electrical discharge. Great. Cool. We did it. Amazing. Ugh. Okay, that's working. That's fine. So the only thing left on this, I think, is... Okay, so we get preloaded electrical discharge. Yeah, just being able to use this to solve field puzzles with the electrical discharge. The idea is there's going to be kind of electrical receptors. It's going to look a little bit like a Tesla coil or something. And if that gets hit by the shockwave... it's a literal shockwave. Then it'll spark and trigger some cinematic, right? So we need to be able to have an event tied to it. What does that look like? Let's make a node called electric receptor. And it takes as argument, as parameter, a cinematic object. And then we call cinematic.run. That's not a Godot built in. That's something we've thrown in. But that's not for tonight. That's going to be an easy one. That's going to be a really easy one. Okay, cool. Oh, I already showed, I showed a handful of people the problem I was having with Godot 4.3, related to frustum cameras and SSR for reflection. The room that I want that to work in, and it'll be pretty obvious that it would look nice with the reflections, but it doesn't appear that way in-game due to the camera type. We are doing a slightly flooded room. And I'm having to use this weird cinematic, or this weird shader, but we can instead use just this. That looks good. That looks kind of cool, and there's like ripple effects when you walk around in it. I think it looks kind of nice, but it doesn't appear that way when the game is actually running, because it doesn't work with the camera type. Frustum offset. It's probably too much ripple. So this is going to be a fun room, like I was talking about when you have to backtrack through a room. So the idea is you're going to come through this room one way. You're going to have to fight enemies on the lower level, and you're going to get to a puzzle in the next room where you kind of connect the electricity. And now you have to come back through the room, but you can't touch the water because it's electric. It's shocking. So don't do that. Let's see here. I think it's time to raid out. Just in time for the music to fade. Okay. That's fine. I know, I thought that was a pretty fun little idea. The puzzle that's going to be in the next room, I've got some ideas, but I'm not 100% sure how to make them work. It's going to be a mini game, kind of a puzzle mini game. The idea I've currently got stuck in my head, but I'm not sure how to actually make it work the way I want to, is a combination of, this may date me, Pipe Dream and Tetris Attack. I'm not 100% sure what the fail state would be. And I don't know if I want the puzzles to be possibly randomly generatable or if they're all set. I think set puzzles are a little bit... They're okay, but it reduces replayability a little bit. It's like, I've already solved this puzzle. I know the answer. It's here, done. But it's really hard to get a system set up where it can genuinely come up with solvable and interesting puzzles every time with that kind of system. Maybe just have a bunch of preset possibilities and it just picks from a pool. We'll see. But currently the idea is Pipe Dream meets Tetris Attack. So it would be a series of tiles that each have a path on them. And the idea is that you have to make a connection between a starting point and some ending point by swapping neighboring tiles, Tetris Attack style. I want there to be some penalty for failure, but still lets you proceed with, yes, but kind of proceeding through the level if that happens. Okay. That's it. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna find us a raid target. Again, if you are interested in Thousand Year Door, this is not in the demo because it's not done yet. But if you want to check out the game, everything that is actually done is available in the demo. It is a 2 to 4 hour demo, and I personally strongly recommend it. I will be back tomorrow for more of these shenanigans, so I hope to see people there. We're going to continue working on Chapter 2. Let's go hang out with Photon for a bit. That's the wrong thing. Wrong number of arguments. Did I program in a raid command? Oh, I know what that command does. It makes the little thing run across the screen. That doesn't even work anymore. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, use the actual Twitch command this time. All right, so Photon is a fellow game dev. They are working on a game called Lake Hopper, which is a seaplane themed game. He's making that in Unity. He's putting a lot of attention into it because he's kind of a bit of a plane nerd. You build what you know. So yeah, it's all. Should we do a raid message? What's a good raid message? I don't even know. How do people do raid? Plain game. That's the raid message. That's it. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Thank you again all for hanging out. Ton of new followers. I appreciate that. I hope to see you guys around. Bye. Have a good night. Yay.